Welcome to another edition of the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm Samantha Rudder, and with me is Coach Moore. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
The Tigers are now 6-0 after beating Fitch 42-14 last Friday night. The Tigers led only 21-14 entering the fourth quarter. How was your team able to take control of the game in the last 12 minutes?
You know, we just kept playing hard. And things started to open up for us, and the kids capitalized on those.
Your defense forced three and outs in that fourth quarter, limiting the Falcons to just 5 yards of offense. That's some kind of effort, isn't it?
Yeah, we played really well down the stretch in the fourth quarter. That was really good to see.
On offense, your quarterback, Aiden Longwell, had another outstanding stat line. Longwell finished with 263 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. How would you grade his performance?
Yeah, I think he had a good ball game. I thought he made a lot of really good throws.
The Fitch defense kept running back Jameer Thomas in check in the first half, limiting him to just 28 yards on the ground. Thomas ran for 77 yards in the second half. What changed after halftime?
We had success throwing the ball, and they had to open up a little bit. You know, they really, from the start, they loaded the box and gave us one-on-one looks on the outside, and you know that's the game you play. You know, in football, it's kind of a cat and mouse game there, and you know, we always just want to be real efficient with what the defense is giving us.
This game marked the first time this season where your starters played well into the fourth quarter. From your perspective, is this a good thing?
I don't really look at it as a good thing or a bad thing. You know, we've got to play each game how it unfolds, and you know, I was proud of the effort that our guys gave into the fourth quarter.
In a moment, we'll hear more from Coach Moore. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Coach Moore, your Tigers are home this Friday night to face East St. Louis, Illinois. The Flyers are 5-1 coming into this game. Tell us more about their program and how this game came about.
And a very strong program. They've won 10 state titles in Illinois. You know, always one of the top teams in the state of Illinois. And they're actually #1 all time in wins in the state of Illinois, as we are in Ohio. So it's a really big game for us, and how it came about, you know, basically we were both open, found out through, you know, the different online services that you can use to find out who also needs games, and it was a game that made sense to both of us. We're actually not allowed to travel outside of the contiguous states connected to Ohio, in Ohio, so they had to come to us if we were going to be able to play the game, and so it was good that they were able to do that, and we're really looking forward to it. It's a big game.
Nice. What can you tell us about the East St. Louis offense?
Very good offensively. They have a couple highly recruited players. They have a receiver who's listed as a 4-star recruit, has offers from Virginia Tech, Kentucky, Missouri, Iowa State, among others, and he's #2. And then another receiver, #1, also has several offers, UK, Virginia Tech, and some others. So very skilled. The running back is very good, and they're very good up front. The right tackle is committed to Iowa State. The left tackle is committed to Northern Illinois. They have a sophomore quarterback, but he's a very good player, both as a thrower and as a runner. So it's a great challenge for us in our defense.
And how about the Flyers' defense?
They play a lot of guys both ways, so all those highly recruited players also play on the defensive side of the ball. They do a lot of different things defensively. Looks like kind of week to week. Everything from an odd stack to an even front to double eagle. A lot of man coverage, a little bit of cover 3, but a lot of man coverage. So, once again, another great challenge for us.
And finally, what are the overall keys to a Tiger win in Week 7 against East St. Louis?
First thing is we're going to need to stop the run, both from the quarterback and the running back. They should have two pretty good running backs. And then we're going to have to be able to establish the run ourselves on the offensive side. And then really important to win the turnover battle. And number one, that means taking care of the football on our side.
We want to thank Coach Moore for joining us on the show. The Nate Moore Show has been brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Samantha Rutter. Thanks for watching, and go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Welcome to another edition of Swing, featuring Tiger Swing Band Director Jason Neel. We're on the air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Lexi Goff, and with me is Mr. Neel. Welcome to the show. So, Mr. Neel, tell us more about last Friday night's performance at halftime of the Fitch game.
Well, last Friday we had our 7th and 8th grade band members come out and join us for our Beatles show, and I was very pleased with not only the result of the halftime show and the performance, but I was very pleased with the rehearsal the night before, because we only have, one rehearsal to get that thing ready to go with the high school band and the junior high band together, and just how smoothly that whole process went. And the kids, our high school kids were great in leading the junior high, and the junior high students were great in just responding and doing what they needed to be doing. So it was probably one of our smoother junior high nights that we've had, and I think the Beatles music is always fun, and I think the crowd enjoyed it. And so as I look back at that performance, I thought it was a very nice evening, and I think we have a lot of excited junior high students to hopefully come up and be part of the swing band someday.
On Saturday, your band participated in the annual Buckeye Invitational at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. Tell us more about how the day went and your band's performance.
Well, that's always a fun day for us. We were, one of 44 high school bands from around the state who were invited to perform. And that show starts at 10 in the morning and goes all the way to 10 at night. So we had a 6:30 performance time, and I thought the kids did well. And it's always just fun to perform in that stadium. And we got good feedback from the crowd. They enjoyed our road trip show, and all the formations looked really good. We got to see them on the large scoreboard there in Ohio Stadium, and just proud of the kids. It's tough to play on a college field because some of the markings are different, and that gave us a little problem here or there. But overall, I thought the kids did a really good job, and it was a good day. We got to see the Ohio State Marching Band perform their Queen halftime show, and a lot of fun music and just great marching by the Ohio State Band. And obviously, we got to see Script Ohio and the ramp entrance. And I think that our students really enjoyed the day. I know I did, and it looked like everybody had a good time.
Besides the opportunity to perform in a large college stadium, what are some of the other reasons you have the band play at this event?
Well, a couple reasons. It's first of all, everybody really enjoys it, and as they talk to me about this performance, our students don't get tired of doing it. It's one of those things that we've done a number of years in a row, and we're just glad to be invited back. But it's a fun event, first of all, and second of all, we get some feedback. This is one of the few band shows, in fact, it's the only band show we go to where there are professional band directors watching us and making a recording of their comments as they're watching the show, and we get feedback on how we're doing. And we also get the immediate feedback where we get to go into the band room right after our show. We get to watch our performance from the camera at the top of the stadium. We get to see immediately what we did, how it went, and one of the directors of the Ohio State Marching Band talks directly to the band, right after the performance. So I would answer that question with, the immediate feedback we get at this band show is different than anywhere else we go. So we like to do that, and it's really great to see, arguably the best college marching band in the country. When you take kids to see a band like that live, they get to see what that looks like, what that premier marching and sound looks like. That helps us as we perform in the future, kind of give us something to strive for. So a lot of benefits of that show.
For our viewers who don't know, does the band play the same high school band shows every year, or do you change the schedule?
Mostly we do the similar shows every year, but I also intentionally try to do one show that's different at least every year. For example, we're locked into doing the Stark County Fair show every year. We host the Tiger Band Review every year. So those are two we're doing every single year. I like to do the Cuyahoga Falls Band show because it's a preview show, and so that's one of the reasons we do that one each year. We get to go out before the season starts, and because of the timing of that show. Plus, we just seem to have a nice relationship with the Cuyahoga Falls Band and kind of enjoy supporting one another. They come to our show, we go to their show. And then, like I just said, the Buckeye Invitational is one that if we can continue to get invited back, we like doing that every year. But this year we did the Lake Band show. I think last year we did the Jackson Band show, or I can't even remember. We try to go around to different shows. We've been to, Dover and Medina and Avon Lake, and it's nice to rotate a show. So we're going to different places, different bands get to see us, and so that's kind of the philosophy of how we choose our shows.
And now this word from Howard's Tiger Rags.
Massillon fans all know the best place to find great Tiger apparel and much more is Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Howard's Tiger Rags is proud to sponsor the Swing TV show on WHS-TV. How about a new football t-shirt and hat? See their cold weather items and Letterman jackets too. Need a hoodie? Howard's has nearly 300 in stock all the time. Don't forget about their infant and toddler apparel, Tiger mugs, and framed wall art. They'll even help you get ready for prom. Visit Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Follow them on Facebook and give them a like.
Thank you, Howard's Tiger Rags. Each year you select new squad leaders. How is a squad leader chosen, and what are their responsibilities during the marching season?
That's a great question, and that's a very involved question. I'll give you a little overview of that, but we have squad leaders apply in the spring, and they have to go through an audition process, their playing assessment on how they're playing. They have to do a marching assessment where they, we go in the indoor field in early May and get a marching score for every squad leader, and they have to do an interview with the directors as well. So we're looking for leadership, we're looking for character and competence. Can they play their instrument well? Can they march well? And experience in the band helps, but we have squad leaders who are seniors, juniors, and sophomores even. We want to take people who are ready to do a very difficult job, and it's not easy to be a squad leader because their responsibilities include not only teaching the drill and teaching the music to the other students, but taking care of inspection and just really holding all the students accountable for everything we're asking of them, and doing that for themselves. So it's not only do they have to have their stuff together, they have to make sure everyone else does. And it's a tough job, and we're also hoping that they're going to be the model for what we're after for our younger members as well. So good question. There's a lot to that answer, and we spend our first couple days every season just training our squad leaders in leadership training and just some of the procedural training for the season. So, and just to say, you know, we have 35 squad leaders just this year, and they've done an outstanding job in leading the band.
Which band member is Obi this year?
That would be Michaela Paul. She is doing a nice job as Obi, and you know, we include her in our auxiliary, our front rank, and so yeah, Michaela's doing a nice job.
Tell us more about the Obi tryout process.
Well, the Obi tryout process is, we're looking for character and leadership as well. We consider that a squad leader. We consider that a leadership role. So they have to answer some questions for us about, you know, what that means and how they would approach that position, as well as we get teacher evaluations, you know, from all their classroom teachers to see how they're doing in their other classes, because that's important to us. But the actual performance audition, they have to run for speed. You know, Obi does a lot of running, and particularly runs the carry-on lines in our opening routine, and so we time how fast they can run that particular route. And they have to choreograph their own routine, a dance routine, use some props. They have to be as creative as possible to do a song, so they get like 2 minutes to show us everything they want to show us as Obi. So I think we had a number of candidates this year, and you know, obviously Michaela was the winner, and we do that again every spring for the subsequent season coming up. So
we seem to get a lot of questions about the band's Obi. Does Obi make a lot of public appearances separate from the band?
Yes. We get calls all the time. Can the mascot come to this, you know, bank opening? Can the mascot come to this birthday party? Can the mascot come to this fundraiser? And you know, some of that's based on the individual, like Michaela's schedule. Can she go to that? Some of that's based on the band's schedule. Is there a conflict? And we can't possibly say yes to every single request we get, but there are quite a few outside performances where the mascot will go and make appearances, and that's one of the reasons we need character and leadership from that individual. So, you know, there's a lot of individual responsibility that needs to happen from that position. So Michaela has done a real good job in that respect this year.
This Friday night's game is home against East St. Louis, Illinois. It's also fall homecoming. I know you've made some changes leading up to this week's performance. Tell us more.
Well, a couple weeks ago we were all set to do our Disney show, as you know, and the weather kind of scared a lot of our crowd away. And it's been just probably one of the most biggest shows we've done in terms of investment into props and costumes and time put into this show. So we wanted to save it for when we had a bigger crowd. So hopefully the weather is good, and even if it's not, just hopefully people come out and see this show, because it's going to be worth seeing. And we're going to do it rain or shine this week. We have 14 Disney songs that we're going to do in the first 10 minutes of our halftime show. And it's all Disney music. They're medleys of songs, and we've just got so many special things to watch. And we did it for the Tiger Band Review on September 22nd, and the crowd just went crazy for this show. So we're excited to do it for our home crowd. And then immediately following that, we're going to do our homecoming presentation for the court. So we've worked it in so it's part of the show, and even the music we'll present the homecoming court with is a ballad from Aladdin, A Whole New World. So it all ties into that Disney theme. And it should be a great halftime show. And like I said, hopefully the weather's great, and hopefully people come and see it.
We want to thank Mr. Neel, the director of the Tiger Swing Band, for being with us this week on Swing. Our show is sponsored each week by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Lexi Goff. Thanks for watching, and always, go Tigers.
I joined cosmetology because I've always loved coloring hair and different colors and makeup.
I joined media because I've always had a passion for all things related to media.
I've always had a passion for teaching other people, especially topics that I'm interested in.
I want to pursue a career as an orthopedic surgeon.
And so when I saw that we had this class, I immediately circled it on my schedule and was excited to join.
This class has made me better because it made me very responsible.
I like the relationships that I've developed in this class. The girls that are in here with me, I've really grown close with all of them.
I joined this class because I enjoy helping others and I want to make a difference.
Even like just making something and having people go, wow, that's really interesting. It means the world.
It was just a really good environment to be in. It was real hands-on and it was just something I really wanted to do.
I joined the construction trades to gain experience in the job I want in the future.
Everything that this class has taught me will account for my career in the future.
Before I came to this class, I was unemployed and Ms. Markley helped me get a job.
I'm going to use what I learned in manufacturing in order to better decide my career.
It gave me more knowledge on cars and gave me plans to go in the auto industry.
Massillon CTE works for me.
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 Works for me.
For me.
For me.
For me. Massillon CTE works for me.